Okay. So hello, dear friends, filmmakers, and hello to Orva Miradia, and hello to Sten Miller from Denmark. While we are saying hello to our guys there on the other side of the screen, I want to short round introduce who we are here, and I want to introduce you to the circumstances. We are running a film festival, Artdocfest Riga, here now, under this war situation, and actually we were thinking and programming to have discussions about art and film and everything, and now everything that is on our minds, it's a war and the situation where we have come into, and it's not possible to concentrate on anything else. And I have talked to several filmmakers who are here, and actually they didn't want to come because it feels like festivities in the time of war and pest, and it's really a bad situation. And actually, the first thing I wanted to ask Tuve about what I already started about this Bornholm festival. You were the one who was breaking for documentary filmmakers. You were breaking this wall after the Soviet Union, and you were actually introducing us to the world and world introducing to our situation. And now I feel that this wall is closing down again. Not only I feel this is a reality.
It was, for me personally, it was something that changed my, let's say, professional life, that we were able to make this festival in Bornholm. And now the situation is that people on Bornholm are afraid to be occupied. They were occupied in 1945 by the Russians, and now they are afraid that they will be occupied. But let me just say that since then I've been following what is happening in your countries, in the Baltic countries, and in Russia and in Ukraine, and that's been very very important for me to see and follow and have a lot of contacts in the countries. And I'm very happy to see the panel with Pavel and Audrius and Andre and so on. I mean, these people are, and you, Christine, and see you doing this in Riga. I think that is very important. At the same time as I, like the rest of you, are totally look at my eyes. I've been looking at the screen and my phone and reading and trying to find out what is happening, and first of all, what is happening to the many good friends who are in Ukraine, who are like Alina in cellars, who are filming, like Olga Sorba, like Daria, Basil, etc., etc. I mean, this is, of course, very important to know how are they safe, etc. And I really admire what they're doing. And what we can do, who are outside, I'm here as a substitute for Simon Wilmont, who's been making 2 films in Ukraine in co-production with Ukrainian filmmakers, which I'm very happy that they have come to that stage, that they can co-produce. That he couldn't be here. I haven't talked to him, but I guess he's busy trying to organize evacuation of the people in his 2 films. And what can I say? I don't know exactly what the question is, but I mean, film. Those people who are there, film, and I would also say that I've been very happy with the coverage, journalistic coverage of our main broadcaster, public broadcaster. It's been quite good. They have had correspondence there. They've been helped by filmmakers from the country, of course. And for the people in the panel in Riga, I'm sure that there are filmmakers in Lithuania, in Poland, in Belarus, of course, and in Russia who are making films right now. And we should not forget that. And we should just help. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities also of donation, and do it. I mean, you can transfer money and whatever, where they can, that they can use for equipment to continue the filming. And then there's, of course, all the aesthetical thing, but I don't think that's so much that is so important right now. I mean, all these films, all the footage that is now being shot can be used later on for, let's say, call it creative documentaries. In the spirit of, I have to mention his name, of course, in the spirit of Juris Potniks, what he was doing. I mean, he was using a lot of reportage reports, etc., and then adding other elements which made the films be still standing as pieces of art.
Then, thank you, Tue. This is exactly the point. I also wanted to say that you all know that we are not news agencies. We are not even local people with the mobile phones who are actually creating fantastic footage now. I mean, those Ukrainian tractors that are dragging tractors out, it's like incredible. What can we do as filmmakers? What can we add to this? Because we will never make it in time. It's not possible for us. What is the added thing that we can do? Maybe Pavel, you want to say something?
Yes. Hi, hello to Nora. Hi, good to see you. What can I say? The situation is we were so shocked by this war, as everybody is, and in the beginning we didn't know how to start, what to do, and I think it's good for us and for Ukrainian people to get off from this hopeless situation, to give them and us some hope with helping them. So what can we do at what we are doing to the how can we try to help? We are of course collecting money. We are trying to buy hard disks and cameras to our Ukrainian friends, film directors. We are buying bulletproof jackets for them, and we are sending all those stuff, this material to the Ukraine. But of course, it's everything is instead of being in person there in Ukraine. I really would like to go there, but I know that they don't need me. They have enough of talent and courage and equipment right now to do it by their own. So, of course, I think that our duty is to help them, and their duty is to shoot. It means to observe and to be with the camera, thinking about and transferring those materials to the via internet, of course, because the people need information and people need material and everything. I'm stick to the Telegram channels, Ukrainian channels on Telegram every day. I'm checking it like each half an hour because our heart is on the Ukrainian side right now, and I must say that Polish people helping a lot. And we have now 1,300,000 Ukrainian refugees in Poland. When you are walking on the street of Warsaw, you can hear more Ukrainian language than Polish language right now. And it's good that we finally became close friends, almost like one nation. And we have to be united against this crazy war, and we have to do everything we can. That's it, I think.
Yes, Aldris, don't wait. Expect for me to give a word. Just say.
I watch one mistake in this discussion. Now we партийное собрание. We all have speech about war is bad, peace is good. And camera around us, and we little bit like stage. But question, it's not like stage. It's question all of us. It's question for what we do today, what we do tomorrow, change our life or not? It's question. It's question not for camera. It's question for all of us. And for me also, I really don't know what I do. Tomorrow is close festival, and what do after that? What I do? I go to the Ukraine, or I come back to Russia, or never come back to Russia. What my opinion about what my? It's very intimate question. Maybe we closed eyes for this audience, for this camera, for this light, and talking about what we really think about, what we really not think.
Feel about it.
Feel about this.
But come on, Vitaly.
Come on, I don't know.
You don't
Come
know.
on, I don't know.
We cannot
I
sit
don't
here
have
and say
answer.
don't know.
Yes. But for me, I have Russian passport. Never here don't have Russian passport. I have Russian passport, and for me, for you it's big question. For me, it's 1,000 more big question.
So, what is your feeling about having Russian passport thhat's days? What's your inner feelings, the real ones?
I am also it's my country. Aggressor, it's my country.
So what is your feeling?
And
are you feel ashamed or are you feel
this aggression? I am part of this aggression. It's like Germany,
years ago,
Second War.
That is
Simple German people who live in Germany in Second War time. For me, it's safe.
Yeah,
but you left Russia because you didn't
left. And what? I left and what?
Good question, yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it? We are not going to feel sorry for you because you have Russian passport. What are you going to do positive, constructive for that? Because there will be a lot of Russian refugees already today in discussion. There was Yevgeny, really cool. We were sitting at discussion and there's a video and he says there's like whole column of good Russian cars with Russian numbers are on the street driving
refugees.
by. This is Russian our refugees that we will get.
But rich people also have personal opinion. Rich people, it's not, это не преступление.
Yeah.
It's not a crime.
It's not a crime. And now we, it's another way discussion. I have more questions in my messenger from different my colleague, friend who live in Russia, outside Russia, in Canada, also in different countries, and say, why you festival happiness, drink coffee, smile, it's war now, you crazy, what you do? It's also a question. It's not major opinion, not major, but it's also opinion. And we include in festival film, balcony film, or we discuss now about hippodrome in Tallinn. We make it this, we have rights, make it film about hippodrome. Or it's...
This is very good question, Audris.
Yeah, I just think I don't care. I think it's not interesting how do we feel at the moment, and nobody should care about that. And even not us, not to concentrate on how do I feel. I think we have to do what we have to do at the moment. And it doesn't matter, is it small or big? I think it's a wrong message, and we say, okay, we are so small, what can we do? We don't know how to fight with the guns, so we are hopeless. No, we are not. As Bernard Shaw said, there are small dogs and there are big dogs, and every dog should bark in his own voice. So at the moment, I think do what you can. Do what you know. I don't know. Send the money if you can. Invite the filmmaker in Lithuania. We have a kind of agreement that the Ukrainian filmmakers can join the crews and be part of our film productions. Send the clothes, anything, until we need to help them to win this war. That's it. I don't even try to think about my feelings. But afterwards, what will you do afterwards? I think there I see the two very big dangers. One is that we all would think, I think we made this mistake for many years. And we said, okay, Putin is a bad guy, and let's change Putin everything. Let's him die and everything will change. It will not. The Nuremberg for communism finally should happen. And I think we should do everything that this would. And finally would happen, because then the Putin would be replaced by another Putin, and number 2, Putin number 3, and this will never stop until it will be very clearly said the communism is evil, the system is evil, and it has to be done. The second thing is what I think it is very important. As Zelensky said, we will not forget. And we will not forgive. I think this is the biggest evil, is that our memory is so short. And business as usual, yes, it is in the past, and then suddenly it's becoming blurry, and we forget, and we. So, as a filmmakers, this is what we have to do to the consciousness of the humanity. It has to be done. We should never forgive and never forget this. And I'm a Christian, but I think in this case, the forgiveness could be given only then somebody asks for the forgiveness. They should ask. They have to repent. I don't know the English word. But покаяние. Until this not happen, this will repeat and continue.
Yeah, but how can we make how can we contribute to make it happen? Because as we see now, it's not happening, and there are new generations. They are brought up on lies. They are spreading in the schools. This is not the first case. All these 20 years, they have been spreading in the schools. They are teaching up children in the lie system, and actually. Putin himself, I'm sorry, coming into the politics, I'm not so competent in this, but it's obvious that he has been brought up in the same lie system. He doesn't know what is truth and what is black and what is white, in this sense that we are being taught by our mothers and fathers in fairy tales and in songs and whatever, in films. It's totally this other perception of the truth and black and white. Yes.
Maybe a question for Orva.
Yes.
But for me, interesting situation. Many filmmakers from all the world immediately go to the Syria for this war. What about Syrian filmmakers?
Yes.
Orva, you know Syrian filmmaker about your war?
I truly don't know where to begin. There's so much to say here. In principle, I believe profoundly that everybody should be doing something today. To be on the side, standing in solidarity with the Ukrainian people and with the serious opposition that is powerful and needs to be more and more powerful to Putinism or any similar structure. Now is a good time for all of us to see what is it that we can do. I cannot demand any filmmaker or any person for that matter to do a particular thing that I think they should be doing. I think this is a matter of personal ethics, of conscience. What is it that you can do? If you can film, then go film and do not do the other job. If you can film and you're good at filming and you have the energy now and the feeling that I am capable, you should be filming. You should not be distributing humanitarian aid, for example, because somebody else can distribute humanitarian aid. On the other hand, politics are also important work that everybody keeps forgetting. There is political work that needs to be done now. And it is not something to look at just simply as bad or unimportant. If somebody would like to work in politics, please put the camera down, go work in politics. To me, the question here is 10 years, 12 years after the beginning of what happened in Syria, and with a country now, Syria, that is almost entirely under Russian control, with many Russian military bases in Syria today, and full command over Syria and its government from the Russian army in Syria today. So we know exactly how the Russian army operates and how it puts the city under siege, and the way the tactics it uses, the approach it uses. But still, when I look back, I dare say that maybe on a certain level, media is a little overrated. So there is this value when I look now that I see that none of the media work that was done for Syria back in the day in itself changed anybody's mind. They were very good, important day-to-day tools and instruments to make sure that the narrative is not hijacked entirely by, say, Sputnik or Russia Today. That was what was happening in Syria. But at the same time, that doesn't stay. What stays today from that experience is the films that Syrian filmmakers made. These films are the long-term consciousness of such a collective experience. The day-to-day approach, I think, is really a matter of personal and social and communal effort. What is it that's being requested? How can I help? Do I have money to donate? Please go ahead. Do I have certain knowledge to donate? Then please go ahead. But let's not make it one way or the other. And to me, what Vitaly says about not knowing what to do, yes, my dear Vitaly, this is the time where you have to ask this question. There is no ready-to-go answer to this. And it is not only about holding a passport from Russia. Your passport does not define you. Your years of work define you so much better. So the question is, how can you go from here in a way that is truly dignified, honoring all of these people, putting their life at the very end of risk? And how can we stand by them also, not only, remember, not only by money or cameras or equipment, also morally. Under bombardment, in moment of war, the value of a good word of solidarity is not to be underestimated too. It is very important for them to know that they are certainly not alone. There's so much more to say. I think in principle, to me, the role of good artists, including filmmakers, is to be just also always critical. It is not automatic that we just, because we have a clear enemy, that we stop being critical and end up being only doing what could be called positive propaganda, for example. That's not the point. It's not only to defend those under attack, it's also to always be unsettled, uncomfortable, because something is wrong, and there are seeds of so many different problems being planted today under the pressure of this oppressive invasion. So what is it that needs to be criticized too? How can we be critical on the long term? Not today, but how do we film what's happening today, trying to imagine the future it will lead us to? When Germany changes its constitution to put more money into the army, I find that to be a necessary step at this moment, but then I have to ask, what will this army look like in 20 years? What are the risks of nations getting collective trauma and people getting collective pain and children growing under bombardment or escaping it and families without their fathers? There is something that is much longer than Putin's life and his war. There is something that is much more visceral and painful in his long term. I think we have this connection from the studio too.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. I'm also thinking all the time about this concept that this is new, fresh, and very painful. And when we will get used to it, this will kind of come in the background, like Belarusian case, actually, that showing Andrei's film yesterday, When the Flowers Are Not Silent, and today we were discussing it, and people say it's like, what did you say, Vitaly? That it's like lacking what? Lacking the point?
question about emotion. Emotion, but
now we have bigger emotions.
Yes, really life, and we watch, all of us watch this real life on TV immediately. This Belarusian revolution. It's like breaking the wave for us. Now we watch film about this history, and we don't have same emotion. We have information, we have compassion, but we don't have more emotion. But we discuss about that.
We discussed about it. Some of us had very big emotions, and some of us didn't. But I was more pointing that now we have already put Belarus aside. That it's the whole picture. It's not now the next one. Ukraine is like, because they are bombarding now. But Belarus, it's the same. It's the same story. It's.
Yeah, but it's very interesting that I thought that protests in Belarus maybe had delayed the start of the war in Ukraine for some time because first Putin allowed and Lukashenko should suffocate the protest in Belarus. For example, in this time when we have uprising, when it was resist, it will be much more how to say it? It will be not so. It was not time, but now after brutal suppression and after a year and a half, when the level of repressions and fear are so high, when many people with protest potential were forced to leave country, thousands of people are in prisons, all leaders are in prison. So it's very comfortable to use the territory and calmly to use Lukashenko and the territory and maybe army in the future. This is the time when Putin could do it without any problems and without any resist. This brutal suppression and the repression was like a first step with this operation. Maybe.
It seems like that.
Yeah, it
that's
seems
so
like
planned very well.
Planned, because it would be not so comfortable to use this territory. But now.
Yeah. I wanted to ask to all this, you're always working in this poetic cinema language, and it's, for me and for many people, it tells more than direct shots, that you're using this metaphorical, symbolic ways of filmmaking. Does it work now?
No. I don't think so. I maybe that's why I am in a crisis now. Because I don't think this is working anymore. Because this is not the time to say in the poetic metaphors. There are no metaphors in the war. There is a life and death. I think this is. And then you write the poetry and create some kind of the hidden meanings. No, fuck that. Now we have to go very straight. I don't know, maybe it will come time for poetry and for metaphors, but not anymore. And I think we are very, very soft. I'm very happy that that the world is finally, Europe is united, but this had to happen in Georgia. Then they attacked Georgia. It was zero reactions.
Yes, really.
Zero on Belarus, zero on Syria. Actually,
yeah, and that we have a result, and we know it's so it's so obvious what will happen
Putin
next.
Start this war, but zero reaction.
Yeah,
because of the
yes, because watch and see why I don't try. Yes.
No, I remember the United States said they are cutting 50% of the high technologies. I said, what? 50%? Yeah, right. And 50, yes, it will be still selling. Maybe now it's different. Maybe they now cut all the 100%. But at the beginning, it was like, okay, half of the technologies we will not sell, but half, okay, we're going to sell. And this is the result. And there is a tendency that it would be worse. And
Yeah,
that I'm sure that
softly will crawl out again. Like actually, it happened after the Soviet Union because first everybody condemned it, and then but no, still there are people, and we should reach a hand. And this European approach that and we support filmmakers. They are really good filmmakers and great people, and we kind of fuse it in. And this is going to happen again. We already know it.
Yeah, so the question is, can we make films around horses? I don't know.
But we have already made. Yeah, but I wanted to say this is exactly, for example, Alina Zgolova's film, This Rain Will Never Stop. This was eye-opening for me. In which sense? I will tell you. This is, for those who have not seen it, there's an incredible story about a guy who is actually from Syria, moved to Lugansk. And he's joining the Red Cross there, and he's voluntary, and again this war situation is happening there. But what was the eye-opening? Not his story, but for me that when I couldn't understand where is what, there is a scene in a little bus where they are speaking like, how is you with your Kurds? Where are you sitting? This Iraq? Because nobody knows, and he's telling some names. He's telling the names of the places stuff, and I clearly can see that these drivers, they cannot see it, they cannot understand it, and then we are going to this journey to this. We don't understand where we are in Syria. In which places are those? We are contradicted, and even the person who dies, they are looking. This I cannot understand who really died there, and I'm so glad that it kind of opened my eyes for this because. This is how it is. We don't know. In Georgia, actually, I am 50 years old. I have never been to Georgia in my life. This is something. Yes, very funny. Yeah, very funny. And it doesn't. And I love Georgian cinema. I love Georgian wine, and I love everything. But when you say that's right, it happened in Georgia, somewhere in Georgia. It happened. Hello, Anton. Nice to see you. Anton Dolin just also coming to us. So we are speaking about what we can do now.
How to be Russian those days? This is the question we ask.
One of the questions. But we already said to Vitaly that I personally, I don't feel sorry for Russians. I'm sorry to be Russian. I don't feel sorry.
It's a question without any answer. When I was in the car coming here from Yurmalo, where we're staying now, I read a Facebook post by one of my friends who is Russian living in Berlin. And he actually wrote that Russian identity is totally destroyed. It doesn't exist anymore. And nobody knows now what it means when you're saying, I am Russian. Really. Every common ground is destroyed, and you have to ask person a dozen of questions to understand what he or she means by saying, I am Russian. So this is one of the many, not the most important, but one of the many victims of this whole situation, the Russian identity, who died.
And Russian director. What is Russian director today?
Yeah, the same. What does it mean? Because let's start with the most important figures. Like one of the person who represent Russian cinema for the whole world is Alexander Sokurov, who opposed Vladimir Putin for a number of times openly, and who maybe nobody believes and nobody remember this, but he predicted war with the Ukraine like 10, 12 years ago, before Crimea.
Okay.
So now the question: should we cancel Sokurov maybe for a period of time, not show his film in Cannes, not award the film? It would be a mistake to award Russian film. Or should we celebrate the independent filmmaker who is, who is talking in all his films about very important questions of power in Russia, figures of powers, who made his tetralogy about this, and his new film, Fairy Tale is the title. It's about the big rulers of the world in parallel reality, where Hitler and Stalin are together. So,
yeah, but look, these films are part of because films are not only art, it's also the industry and business. And if they are part of Russian film industry, meaning people are buying tickets, part of the tickets go to taxes, and these taxes are used to buy guns and tanks and rockets that they bomb.
You're totally right, but we're not sure that nowadays such a film can be released in Russian cinemas. I really doubt it. I don't think so. And if they will not show it in Russian cinemas, and Cannes Film Festival will not show it in the festival, so all these fights Sokurov do for years will be for nothing.
Orva, you wanted to say?
I want to say something, try to be concrete about this. To me, there is nothing in the world that will cancel Sokurov. As an example, the point is not whether we cancel Sokurov or not. Every film that he will make from now on is going to be judged on a case-by-case basis by the details. Where is this film going to be? Who financed it? What is going to happen? How do we understand this? Because I also am reading the names of every Russian filmmaker signing the anti-war statements, and I think everybody like me is checking who has a clear position today or not. But it is not automatic that because it's Sokurov, it's okay. But anyway, what I want to say here is that there is a difference in emergency. The question of what will Alexander Sokurov get out of this is important, but the question of what will the Ukrainian filmmakers get out of this, or even the young Russian filmmakers and Belarusian filmmakers in being detained in the streets now. But first and foremost, the question is the Ukrainian filmmakers, because Sokurov might lose the chance to show his next film, whereas the young filmmakers in Ukraine might lose their lives and their children and their homes and their entire neighborhoods and cities and parents. And so there is something about also time allocation today. What are we discussing? And when we have an hour and a half to discuss, I would say, I'm not against Alexander Sokurov. I don't want to cancel Alexander Sokurov. This hour and a half should not be about him. This hour and a half should be about those who are facing death today. And I hope Mr. Sokurov will agree even on this.
Sure, of course.
Yes, I think I want to answer what we can do now. I think on the spot, I just think what I can do. I can do something to break down this old narrative. The 9th of May is coming, which is usually extremely big celebration still at our so-called Second World War monument. We have been watching, because we are democratic country for 31 years now, and we have been watching these gatherings with drunk people. Already there are no war veterans; they are all died from the age. There are new ones coming with this Besmertny polk, the battalion of yes, they are carrying their these photos. We don't know what are those photos. Actually, there's just a show, and this is continuing this live, and we have been tolerating it because we are so democratic country and everybody can do it. And Sergei Loznitsa has made.
But it's different question. In Latvia, it's one question. In Berlin, it's motherland of Nazi. It's another question. And my opinion about celebrate in Latvia, it's one opinion. But it's Soviet army occupied Latvia and so on. But Berlin, it's
it's because of this guilt, of this how to say, common guilt that's also part of old narrative. I was listening to Yuval Noah Harari, where he said this is the time that this is totally broken. The generation should understand that they should not play on this common guilt that has been carried on since Second World War. This is another times now. The faces are changed. The new meaning for word fascism and Nazi and everything is totally crazy. What is going on? It's change.
I must say I was very surprised by the reaction of Polish society towards the Ukrainian refugees, because we have a very difficult common history. During the war, there was, it's a history full of crime and full of blood. So there are a lot of people in Poland that they are thinking that Ukrainian people are very cruel and they are not they are our enemies. But it's switched, from one day to another to total solidarity, and we are together against Putin and, of course, against the war, not only using words, but using hands, using hearts, and helping a lot with people. I know a lot of my friends are sharing apartments with Ukrainian people right now, giving them shelter, medicine, food, money, and heartwarmers everywhere in Poland. So this is, if there will be a question about what is good in this war, maybe stupid question, but the good is that we finally showed our solidarity against cruelty of Russian government, of Putin, and I hope it would stay like this, because we have like 1,300,000 refugees right now after 12 days of 13 days of war, and in a couple of months there will be millions. I spoke with my daughter today. She's in Warsaw. She said, "I'm only hearing the Ukrainian voices on the street. I cannot hear the Polish talking." So that's what I'm afraid that it would change. When we would take 5 million of Ukrainian people. You are talking about searching what's gonna happen in the future, because nobody knows about the next Putin's step. But what's gonna happen? What's gonna change in our society? This is the subject of the film. They are coming, and we are all heart open, and everything is okay. We love Ukrainian people, but when you have to share your apartment, your job, your food or place at school or kindergarten for the children, that could be a very tense situation. This is a subject for a film, I think.
I have sullen voice question about Russian refugees. It's also a question. Russian who
many people flew country, and we think, I know it's not fair maybe to say this and to compare.
We know you did.
Russian and Ukrainian, it's not a fair comparison. We cannot compare it. But still, we think among us that that Putin first occupied Russia, and now he's occupying Ukraine. And it's true, because we screamed in every possible way about Putin killing the free press, the elections, all institutes we had in 90s, and nobody could help us, because he had a big army from the start of his and army is bigger and bigger, and there's literally millions of people in Russia who are oppressed. And who are oppressed all this time. It's not people who voted for Putin for 10 years, who were, happy with everything. But I mean, they fought all this time for nothing. And now many of them flew the country having nothing. No visas, no money, because Visa and Mastercard blocked the cards. And a little bit funny when there are millions of refugees and killed people in Ukraine to say about Visa and Mastercard in Russian pockets. But people who fought Putin and now literally with empty hands and pockets, they don't know what to do, and they're not welcomed anywhere. And I just wanted to answer that you saying that relations for years, for decades, for centuries, relations of Poles and Ukrainians, now it's changing. That's what I wanted to say, that everything is changing. I mean, Russian identity, European identity, idea of war, everything is changing. That's why I believe we should find new words, not the words Nazism and fascism, because Putin exactly used these words to justify what he's doing.
Putinism.
Yeah, Putinism, it's not only Putin, and we don't have a real cult of Putin in Russia. He pretends we have. It's not Stalin times. In Stalin times it was a cult, and it still exists now. Now it's imitation of a cult, because, when Stalin died, many people died in lines to touch his coffin, to see it. It was a religion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't have, and we didn't have religion with Putin as a god. Never, never. In these 20 years, it's really cynical, it's really pragmatical, and these armies who support Putin, they get a lot of money and of power in their hands, but he's not their god. It was always very cynical. So it's different, and I don't have word for it.
Evil is the word.
Yeah, evil. I mean, this letter Z, they use.
Yeah.
They wrote it on the door of my apartment before I left.
I saw it.
What does it mean?
Nobody knows, but I like explanation.
Part of Russian truth.
I like that it's a zombie, because it was a very good film with Brad Pitt, World War Z. Mm-hmm. It's a war of people with zombies, and letter Z was.
But it means that somebody didn't like it.
Yeah, and my children suggest the word zlo, which is evil in Russian, and start with that, Z. So I don't know. I think we must look for new narratives when filmmakers, documentary filmmakers, feature film filmmakers will look for reflection of what's going on screen, and the same for literature, for philosophy. We need to find new words. Old words like Nazism, we have to throw it out, because the dictator use it to justify what he's doing.
I think word peacekeeper also as there is.
A lot of words we need to throw it out. It doesn't work anymore.
What I think is that we are, first of all, we are human beings, and then we are filmmakers. So I'm not ready to make a film about Ukraine, but I'm ready to help, to give as I can. So.
The same thing with me, because I was exhausted with shootings, protests, were crying and so on and so forth. But now I felt that hopeless, and only what we can do, just hold Ukrainian like we do in Poland.
Physical way, let's say, not artistical, but physical.
Because the situation is that I told you that we were forced to leave Belarus with my family 6 months ago, but now we are hosting Ukrainian women in our temporary apartment in Poland, in Łódź. Stupid situation, but I'm not ready to make film about it just now, because I was enough with Belarus protest, and I thought that maybe that I. Not like I don't have tried. I'm happy that, for example, Ukrainian filmmakers are staying in Kyiv, like Alina, and I admire of their courage, and I'm happy to see them on big screen here, and even they have courage to smile to us. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that as one can, I was thinking what I could do. I could not shoot in Ukraine. I don't know the circumstances, and I don't know anything. What is important in Latvia, I think now, this is my personal opinion, because there are different opinions I cannot express for all, but we should not lose our Russians, let's say like this, because we have in Latvia, we have very big population, and very big part of them are so-called Putinists because of the media and all this, and we are in. But during these 30 years, we have learned something from this. We have learned this tolerance. We are very careful also with using the words, like we are trying not to say Russians. We are trying to say, those who support or Putinists or whatever, Putin supporters or something, and this is maybe minor thing, but I think that this is I could really imagine that I could make a film somehow bringing this narrative also to this part of this. Russians that are living here, because Russian we cannot afford to lose them on this very fragile thing. I think Viktor Kozakovsky has joined us also. Hello, Viktor. Do you see us?
Yes, guys, I see you.
Yeah.
The question was how to be Russian.
No. I know. We were speaking. What can we do? I'm just saying that in this local scale, what I could do. I don't think that I really would like to do. It's not my first priority to do, but in order to contribute with something, I think I could definitely do. I want to tell you that besides the filmmaking, I'm leading so-called integration courses for foreigners that are coming to Latvia and live. And it's not only Russians, Belarusians and Ukrainians, there is from whole world. And this is what I'm contributing with. I'm introducing to our traditions and values and stuff. So that's, I have possibilities to have this material in a way.
Maybe it's good, Viktor, just never come with us and don't
He's
know
not
about what we talked before. And it's like very fresh. What you do tomorrow? Vita, what you do tomorrow?
Я буду делать завтра.
For tomorrow.
I tell you what my plan for today. I'm collecting medical, I don't know, everything for what people need, for bandage and all this medical stuff. And I'm sending to Ukraine. I'm sending food for kids, milk for kids, for newborn babies. This is all my days. So this is what I do. And yeah, this is what I do. I think we are so guilty that we have to later. We shouldn't be naive, I believe. We should not be naive. This guy will not stop because he was planning for long. That's why I'm dealing with I'm doing something about beginning of this tragedy. And I know a lot about beginning of it. And I know the plans are big and plans will not stop. And he will not stop. If all of us will write petition, he will not stop. Because he knows that he is not doing it for purpose he speaks. He speaks, oh, I'm for Russian world, I'm for Russian empire and Russian, like USSR, this is garbage, this is just smoke. He has different agenda. And agenda is very simple. He's trying to hide his criminal acts, what he did before, for these 20 years. And as far he did so many crimes, he needs a bigger crime that no one will remember who shot airplanes, who did this, who poisoned people, so don't be naive, he will not stop, especially now. He can't stop because what is happening now in Ukraine is catastrophe, and it's just absolutely clearly it's going to be in Hague, and it's going to be new Nuremberg process. So we shouldn't be naive. And as far as he has no way out, we might have bigger problem. But I need to. So if we will survive after this, we will have to.
Vita, you believe Nuremberg process?
New Nuremberg.
Say it again?
New Nuremberg in Moscow.
New Nuremberg, you believe?
Do you believe this?
It must be. All everything what happening, everything what is happening now, it's only happening because we didn't make, we did not finish with communist regime. We let them be. We did not say, hey guys, stop. In 91, we not only, this is what consequence. In 91, we should say, stop, Let's talk about it. What happened? What happened in our previous history? Why it happened and who is guilty and what to do with it? And we didn't do it. We did not say Stalin is guilty. We didn't say Communist Party is guilty. We didn't say Lenin is guilty. We didn't say half of us were behaving wrong and participate on this shit. We didn't say, until today, you cannot say that a country like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia was occupied. You cannot say it still. You cannot say that war was started in 1939. You cannot say it. You still have to believe the war started in 1941. Now, after we see in retrospective from here, even if you look from here, you see everything, all our history is fake, all our history is a shit, and because they just pretend, they just hide crime all the time. And the point is, instead of in 91 saying, okay, let's talk about it, let's discuss it, we let them be. We did not find out who made a terrorist attack in 99 with buildings. We didn't say. We didn't check. Was it really hexagon or it was sugar? We did not check. We let them be. Then when Nardos came and school problem came, and we did not do anything. We say, okay. So many people dying, no problem. So many people die in Nordost, no problem. No, we are guilty, fuck all of us. If all of us, all Russians are guilty. And then especially guilty, the ones who, I don't know, especially guilty are our colleagues who were like making, I remember, I wrote to one of our guys who was making panegyric film for his, I don't know, his birthday, 60th birthday, I guess, or some. So this is the words, the people talented with charisma who who are trying to convince us that he is a great guy. This is the fucking disaster, and they're guilty as listen. I was, let's say, I was lucky to meet Leni Riefenstahl. She invited me to her house. So I can talk about it endless and about her and times I spent with her. But it's a tragic story. And I think people who support him so many years endlessly, it's gonna be Nuremberg. Right? It's gonna be process, and it must be, because it cannot be in 21st century we allow people to do this, and it cannot be. All guys who like I don't want to name, you know them. It's impossible. But for today we shouldn't be naive. He will not stop. He cannot stop. He will go, and we have to prepare for bad. Now we just need to help Ukrainians. We have to help them. Anyways, how we can just help them. And
So the question is, whether it would be the process in Hague or Moscow, what is contemporary Nuremberg, you know?
I can tell you why it's happening today. Guys, it's very easy. Okay, I will open what a little bit more. The reason why it's happening now is very simple. In Hague, actually in Amsterdam and also in Strasbourg, there are two trials happening right away, right now. And both of them are very bad for Russia and for him. Both of them. One is about MH17. MH17 is very clear who did it. And there is no chance we did not do it. And there is no chance he's not guilty. There's no chance. Meaning, I don't want to tell you more because it's not the point. The point is, if not COVID, today he will be officially war criminal for shooting airplane MH17. If not COVID, today, no one leader in the world will give him a hand, because you cannot bring weapon to another country and shoot airplane. And as far as I know a lot, don't believe they made a mistake. Some people in the Netherlands saying, oh, they made a mistake, they wanted to film airplane, which is a military plane. It's not true. It was not a mistake. The mistake was that they shot this particular plane, but not another one. If they will shoot, for example, Russian one, it will be perfect case to say, okay, Ukrainians are evils, let's go. So beginning of the war supposed to happen 17th of July 2014. And that's why MH17 happened. And that's why, if not COVID, the result of the trial will be already done today. Only COVID, he is the only person who has benefits from COVID. We will see later who made COVID. I don't touch it. But the only person who has benefits from COVID pandemic is him, because today he will be officially already war criminal. And this is not only one, there is another trial, and it's talking about who provoked conflict in Donmas. And it also doesn't look good for him. So if it's not COVID, both those trials will be already done. This is why it's so important to start now. Because if not start now, in September, this September, it will be result of trial in both trials. So this is what's happening. And to forget about who shot MH17, to forget who started Benjamin in Donetsk, he needs bigger war. He will not stop. He cannot stop now.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask Vitaly. You came out with this film, Putin's Witnesses, and then you already had these shots from where he's at these houses there, which were blown up, before the Chechen war. So why did you come out so late with that? You needed that distance, or you had such material already then?
First of all, my number one sentences from this film, Putin Witnesses, и это я скажу по-русски. Свидетели,
the witnesses,
молчаливое свидетельство преступления,
silent witnesses of the crime,
делает из нас соучастников.
They make us co-partners of the crime.
И это главное, что я хотел сказать, что мы все соучастники этого преступления.
And this is the most important that I wanted to say, that we are all complies with this crime. But I was different question. I was asking you, why did you?
Да, это первое.
It was the first.
Второе. Все, что является базисом фильма «Свидетели Путина»,
all that is base material for Putin's Witnesses,
это не интерпретация сегодняшнего дня с высоты понимания.
This is no interpretation from the perspective of today.
Это все было тогда снято, и значит тогда это было для меня очень важным вопросом.
It was filmed then, and it was very important question for me then.
То есть я использовал свою возможность, снимая фильм, задавать те вопросы, которые меня тогда волновали. Я не мог их включать в фильм тогда, но я их задавал, эти вопросы.
I couldn't include them in the film that time, but I was asking these questions to myself.
И парадокс заключается в том, что Путина придумали люди и посадили на это место, и он был их куклой. То есть
there were people who put Putin in that place, and he was a marionette.
Но даже в первые месяцы правления марионетки они уже потеряли возможность с ним спорить.
Already in the first months of this marionette ruling, they already lost the possibility to argue with him.
Я был единственным человеком, который мог ему сказать, что возвращение гимна
was the only one who told him that the coming back of Soviet, like Soviet anthem, it's a mistake.
И он тогда был поражен, что кто-то ему это говорит. Он вообще,
то
есть пару месяцев псевдовласти, тогда еще псевдовласти, уже вообще лишало вообще какой-то, ну...
But he has KGB KGB knowledge how to do it, probably.
Yeah. But look, I would like to react to what Victor said. I think we were making the same mistake. You are speaking about the Hague process for Putin and his close circle, but it has to be a Hague process on the communism, and this will not happen. And I think this is
exactly what I said, my friend. This is exactly what I said. Yeah. We did not finish Stalinism era. We did not say the Germans, they did it, and we did not.
Yeah.
Germans, they didn't want, but international society said to them, no, we have to go through it. And it happened trail for fascists and Nazis. So it must be same for Stalinism. And it must be same for Putinism.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to go back to emergency. I think I understand the pain. I understand the historical relevance, and I understand the questions of the far future. But to me, I just want to say before we end a few things, that there are responsibilities just for today, and they can be really disconnected from who is to blame in history and who will be going to court later. In my opinion, we have a responsibility first and foremost towards the Ukrainian filmmaking community, all of them. This is not only about my friends. This is about anybody who works in the extended community of filmmakers. And to me, this is about enabling them to survive, to be at their best, and to do what they think they should do. So if one of them wants to work in journalism, that's their own decision. They should own it. If they want to make a film slower, it's their own decision. If they want to fight or to escape, that's absolutely their right to choose. We need to be there for them today, because at this moment, they are in extreme pain. And in a way, today, particularly these few days, I believe that it is not the best time to discuss the history of this. It is very important to discuss the history, but today these colleagues and friends are literally under bombardment. So in a way, to me, I think that's why I mean, the International Coalition for Filmmakers at Risk is this small foundation we established at IDFA together with the festival in Rotterdam and the European Film Academy. And today we will be announcing now or in a couple of hours a new emergency fund for filmmakers, where a filmmaker who is real high risk can just apply and get a very quick amount of money transferred to them immediately, so that they can move to another city, so that they can rent an apartment for their children, so that they can get medical attention, etc. In a way, I think that this is the emergency side here, which is about us helping them do what they want to do. If one of them wants to make a film, then they should not be now in need to go and prepare a very good pitch and go to send the best trailer. We need to be there for them, to guarantee their work, to talk to our finances, to get them exceptions so that they get some funding immediately, because we can take the risk, we can take a bet on them, and they have the right that we take the bet on them and their work. The same goes for their daily needs, for them if they want to leave the country or if they want to stay. And I'm just saying this because I want to tell you, when you are under bombardment, you really feel so much pain when somebody is making it about something else. Even if all of these discussions, in my humble opinion, are very important. I'm not saying they are not. I'm just saying that I can imagine myself now being in Kyiv or in Lviv or so on, and feel like, what are they talking about Stalin now? The bomb is on our door. So I'm sorry to say this, and just encouraging all of you, all of us, we have our power of defending these colleagues now, of raising a voice for their own chance today. And I'm hoping that you would all join me in this effort of seeing what they need and how can we help them, because it is not even if we start thinking that we are responsible, then we are actually talking about ourselves, not about them.
I totally agree with you, but at the same time, we should kind of depart our strengths. Not all of them should do one thing. Let's say, for example, I would suggest not forget about Belarusians, actually, because they also play part in this, Belarusian filmmakers, and now I lost my thought, but this actual thing that we are concentrating on this, so. Those of us who are not going to war and we are sitting and discussing here, we can also start to parallelly root in this cause, as they are suggesting, as Victor is suggesting, and as others suggesting, about there is not all the people, with one hand we deliver help, with other hand we have to think also in this historical and bigger perspective how to end this. Because we all know that this is not going to end so quickly. So we have only a few minutes left on this session. Do you want to say something more?
I think that when we are helping Ukrainian people which are under the bombs, we are helping us as well, because this feeling of hopelessness is very tough for us, because we're waking up every day and we're saying, but okay, let's check my phone, what is happening in Ukraine, what can we do? What can we do? This feeling of hopelessness is very awful for us as well, so I think we should try to do whatever we can to help.
For me also, when I'm also scroller one, and for example, I see the protest march from Georgia, for example. I see these very people, and at the same time I read that their government didn't support the sanctions. Mm-hmm. So I really wondering what is there, and at the first time in my life I start to question what is really this government. What's this? It's disconnected from its people somehow, and also see demonstrations in Russia. We already know that they're disconnected totally from its people. But that is also, I think, topic that should be taken up. Anyway.
I think we have to do what we can do in all possible ways. The money, support, of course, that's the first thing we have to do. But also we have to work in all levels to inform people. I know I have friends all over the world. Part of my friends do not even understand what is happening, and it's also crucially important that this information would reach them and they would get. I think everyone decides and sees what he can do, and he must do this. Mm-hmm. And then I think, films, they can wait. I don't see, at the moment, I don't see how the films could help in this situation. This is the fire, and we need to put down the fire. Then we think why this fire happened and how to make it that this will not repeat again. But now we have to put this fire and help people who are inside of this burning building.
Yeah. And at the same time, I have a personal story. My husband is in India. He's Indian, and I can just say I have a family crisis because this propaganda materials that I receive from there, I understand that people are totally out of context from our perspective. And when I was living in India, so I was swallowing that people are immediately when they get to know where I am from. They don't know where is Latvia. I say Soviet Union. Oh, Russian, and I will not tolerate it anymore. This is. I was tolerating it, but I will not. I will to each and everyone politely, but I will take these 10 minutes or 15 minutes to each and every person, and I just go and tell this story. It's a very small way, but somehow. Yeah, Victor.
I just said the worst would be if people learn where is Latvia, if Latvia would be the next country where he goes. He will not stop.
Okay, so actually people here believe that NATO's fifth.
Who watched the documentary film Diet for Daugavpils, BBC channel? Who watched? Orva, you watched this film? Умереть за Daugavpils.
No, I didn't watch, but I know that there's such series exist. They played out this like kind of artificial, but they played out that in Daugavpils it's like Lugansk or Donetsk, that they are, because there's huge Russian population and they are very close to the Russian border and they are getting this media and they are pro Putin. And the BBC made a series, I have not seen it, but the same scenario, but everything was precisely how it was.
Ex-military general sitting in a special room and talking about situation. Putin comes to Daugavpils. Daugavpils is part of Latvia. Latvia is part of European Union and NATO. And what we do, general talking about that. And finally, general said, it's maybe отдадим этот Daugavpils, чтобы не было Третьей мировой войны.
Let's give this Daugavpils so that the Third World War doesn't break out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This could happen.
because some victims should be some offers. Okay, on this fantastic note, we will finish the first part of our discussion. We take half an hour break. Those who want can also join from the other side. Otherwise, thank you very much all for this discussion. Thank you very much, guys, for joining.
Andres.
Yes.
Andres,
Yeah.
you are so beautiful.